everybody? My name is ZealetPrince. Welcome back to yet another reaction video. And today we are finally getting to the latest addition to Daylight 3's channel. Now, I know I said I was going to be getting to this video soon, but a lot of things came up over the entirety of May since this video basically came out. I have been extremely busy and didn't have the time to sit down and react to one of the longer videos on my playlist of stuff I need to react to, so I didn't have the time. But now my schedule is basically a lot more free, at least for me. It's a lot more free, and now we are finally getting to it. So for those of you who have been wanting me to react to this, I apologize for not getting to it sooner. It's just been I've been extremely busy this last month and a half. If you know what's going on, you read the community posts, you know what's happening, where I've been, what my mindset has been. So you guys know what's going on. If you don't, go check out the community page. You'll see what was going on, where I've been, everything up until the last week or so. Last week of May and the first week of June. All of this is new recordings from that on. Funnily enough, all those videos I had recorded right before April 19th, everything was pre-recorded. I had over 22 videos ready and set to go, and those videos lasted me until almost the end of May. So that's insane. But other than that, I'm going to stop talking as I've spent way too much time talking in this intro, and we're going to get right into this. This is Daylight 3's new edition, Old Stuck Up. It is 47 minutes long. We're going to be here for quite a bit. So grab your popcorn, your water, or your drink, if you're having one, and let's get right into it. Instead of having a drink for me, I'm going to stay hydrated with water. I went for a sip and I didn't even want to take it. But other than that, we're going to go ahead and get right into this video in 3, 2, 1. Boom. Here we go. I actually did rewatch James and the New Engine recently, so I remember what happened after the last video. Where are we? Are we in that Henry's Forest video episode? I never reacted to that, but I did. That was the first one I watched, and then I started reacting to the rest of Daylight 3 stuff.
Sodor, flowers were
shut up.
budding, bees were buzzing, and a blue diesel was waiting in the yards. The diesel was one of many on trial from the other railway. He was a hard worker, but the engine...
Oh, right. If you haven't seen my last 3 Daylight 3 videos, I am paying attention to stuff in the background to see if any of the characters pop up. So this video might be a lot longer than I think it will be, because I'm going to be pausing and looking around.
Noticed the diesel
I almost forgot to do that.
Strange behaviors. Many workmen and engines noticed the diesel creeping through the sidings and yards,
Okay, nothing here.
as if in search of something. The engine refused to sleep in the same
There's Bear
sheds
in the
as
background.
Engines, even his fellow diesels. This earned him the nickname Old Stuck Up. When he did decide to interact with the others, he would ask strange questions, some of which had better answers. Despite his strange and rude behavior, he was a hard worker, but that didn't mean he made no mistakes. One cold morning, the diesel had gone to use the fueling station, but little did he know that a workman had fumbled the fueling line of Bear and caused some of the oil to spill onto the rails.
Uh-oh. I don't see anyone.
Lost grip, and in an instant he slammed through the back of the shed, almost killing a nearby workman.
He's on his cigarette break.
Word soon spread about what had happened, and the thin controller was very cross. You have caused confusion and delay. I will have to send you back to the other railway. Most expected the diesel to be indifferent, but to their surprise he began to beg the thin controller for a second chance.
Please, sir. I admit I was going too fast, but the rails weren't supposed to be slick. If they weren't, then this wouldn't have happened.
I suppose.
And I've been really useful, haven't I? I've taken any train you've given me without complaint. You wouldn't want to just throw away such a hard worker, would you?
All right, you've convinced me. I will give you a second chance, but you will be on maintenance duties until you have earned back my trust.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
For weeks after the accident,
Oh, hey, we got our first spotting. I see Percy all the way in the corner. Yeah, I gotta zoom in here for you guys to see it, but there he is. He's in the trucks. I noticed that green cab anywhere. There he is. We got our first sighting.
Old Stuckup will be seen carrying out track maintenance around the island, taking the workmen to and fro while spending cold nights out beside
I feel like Daylight 3 is listening and making me look for this stuff. He has to be.
One day, he was to be sent to the forest on the main line. Repairs were being made to the bridge. The metal beams were old and in need of replacing. He had to collect Rocky the crane and line of new steel beams and rails. However, the points to the siding Rocky was in had jammed, so the diesel was forced to wait in the yards with the other engines.
Ugh. How am I supposed to prove my value when shoddy maintenance makes me stuck here with these old tin kettles?
Don't act so stuck up. Your railway is just as susceptible to delays.
Au contraire, we have systems in place to minimize such delays. Systems that cannot be integrated as reliably into your old systems.
That
Damn.
may be, but we were all in the same place when we were new. In about 40 years, you will be just as out of date as us.
You certainly won't be given the same amount
True.
of respect on the mainland than here when your time comes. That is why engines such as us are more common here. It's your railway's gimmick. There have been a few like me, but British Rail is a profit-driven company. It's cheaper to build normal diesels to be replaced later than talking engines that have protections and opinions. There have been some who have made the pilgrimage to this island, but engines like us are reserved for special jobs and occasions on the mainland. Go back to the other railway if it's so nice for you.
Congratulations. You managed to anger Boko.
He'll get over it.
I'm
Yeah,
surprised
Boko was
to be
not
so
the-
callous. Whenever we criticize diesels for being weak, they usually say, we stick together. But you do the opposite. Why is that?
Well, some diesels just prefer to work alone.
That won't do on this island. Bad things happen when you are alone.
Especially in this series.
So I've heard.
You need to eschew this stuck-up attitude of yours. I've seen where engines consumed by pride go. Even if you work alone, some friends could come in handy someday.
Thanks for the advice, but I prefer to work alone. Engines like you would only slow me down.
And what's that supposed to mean?
You steam engines have it so nice here. If an engine like me came along to modernize it, you would find any way to sabotage my efforts. Probably leave me in the scrapyard to never be found.
How dare you make such despicable accusations, where you would never stoop to such lows as to sabotage a fellow engine?
I sincerely doubt that.
Fine, but don't say I didn't warn you.
Oh, he's definitely gonna be paying for it later if he survives by the end of this video. And God knows every little character in this series is getting killed off one way or another. We lost Gordon, we lost Oliver, we possibly lost Toad. We haven't seen him since that episode. We lost, who else did we lose? We lost Toby, we lost Percy, we lost Donald, and we lost Duck. So we've lost a total of 7 characters so far, and one is currently unconfirmed to dead because we haven't seen him in a while. So this guy might be next. And I still haven't seen anybody else in the background yet.
Points are fixed. We can head out now.
Still looking. Every frame.
Bruno,
Still nothing.
I've waited here long enough.
Toby's belt. That's Emily in the background over there. That's not anybody new. Or any of the missing characters. still don't see anything. I'm going to be paying attention to the story, but I'm also going to be paying attention to the background to see if I can notice any of the deceived, as they were called in the last one. Oh, there we go. Speaking of deceived. I forgot which twin it was that was killed. Was it Donald or was it Douglas? It was one of the Scottish twins. But there he is, and is over there just hanging out. But there he was. I love how I was talking about it, and then one of them just popped up. It's like they're always listening. I forgot the name of that coach, but I do know about the book that she came from. You know what's another random thing to think of? What happened to Topham Hatt? Was he killed and did he become one of the deceived? Or what? What happened to him? Nobody here. I didn't see anybody in the shed. Is that Toad? No, that wasn't Toad. I'm not gonna lie, I like this music. Got the pack there, this whiff up on top.
Are you the Diesel who's come to help?
Yes, ma'am. I've brought you the heavy equipment for
Jenny?
your little project.
I think that was her name.
Move it into position near the bridge.
Of course, ma'am.
Okay. So, I didn't say anything earlier about his personality because I was paying a little too much to the background. But he has the personality of a guy who wants to work on the island, but he also has his issues with everybody else around him. So, whether or not that gets him killed by the end of this episode, we'll see.
Thank you for preparing the crane. It will take a few hours for the bridge to be repaired. You will need to take the scrap train away when it is time. After you deliver the train, you are to return with a load of new rails for the bridge. Until then, you can find a siding and rest if you would like.
Thank you, ma'am.
Pretty sure her name was Jenny. It's been a little while since I've watched The Pack. Don't go in the forest, my guy. That's where everything goes to hell. There's her whistle. Lady's whistle. Looking around in the forest to see if any of them are there. But so far, nothing. It's the junction. Boxford Loop. Oh boy. This guy's probably gonna die by the end of the episode. I mean, someone always dies in one of these. Oh wait, Boxford. It's
Well, it seems we
The
have
engines.
a swatter.
Spencer.
Don't mind me, I'm just
The Duke.
resting.
That's fine. We rarely ever use that siding. Just for other visiting engines such as myself.
And who are you?
Spencer, the fastest engine on this whole island.
I thought that was one of the blue ones.
Are you referring to Scott or Gordon?
I think Scott is the one.
Yes, you are referring to the NWR. Scott currently is the fastest engine on the railway. I am the fastest on the island.
What's the difference?
You see, I am privately owned. I operate these rails when my owners require fast transportation.
Why don't they take the express?
Oh no, that would never do. The Duke and Duchess are much too important for a noisy and cramped caravan.
Duke and Duchess?
Oh,
Like
this
the
guy
Duke
not
and
knows anything.
Duchess of Boxford?
The very same, my modern fellow. What does mean?
You've been on this island a long time. Have you ever seen anything strange?
Lots of strange things happen on this island.
Yes, I've heard all about the disappearances. Everyone has. But is there anything you have seen that isn't as recognized?
Well, let me think.
Surprised these two are getting along.
Have you heard of the Kildane Lights?
I can't say I have. Do go on.
There used to be strange red lights that would appear sometimes in the forest. I find
Oh.
the legend that accompanies them dubious, but
The first story with Henry in the forest, where this whole series stemmed from. Okay. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out, because I haven't reacted to it. I watched it off screen around the time I was starting to get into Thomas' reactions, so I never really reacted to it. But you guys should probably go check that out, because that's where this whole series started.
the lights were undeniably real. Lit up the whole forest. It was quite perplexing.
Was there a reason for these lights?
There was supposedly a rail disaster during the Great War.
Do you perhaps know something about it? Something more specific?
No? No. But I do have a keen eye for details. Have to be attentive for a prestigious...
Oh, wait. Who is that? What was that there in the previous frame? Hold on. No, it wasn't. We got a squatter. We got a spotter. Who is it? Duck? It's got to be Duck. It's hard to tell, but we got somebody sitting there, because that was not there a second ago. I don't know who it is, though. I can't really tell. Either Percy or Duck or Oliver, one of the three, because they're the smallest engines.
Attentive for a prestigious
I think that was taken away.
occupation such as this.
Do please elaborate.
The next
you
frame is
see,
gone.
if
Yep.
I crashed, that could cut off a royal bloodline.
Not the job, the lights.
Well, the story goes, an express train from Tidmouth to Vickerstown crashed into the back of a munitions train. It had been switched down the wrong line by a careless workman who left the points open. The crash killed everyone on board and destroyed the entire train, save for the engine's tender.
It's tender.
Wait, the tender was intact?
Yes, they use it as a traveling museum piece now. Tends to attract the crowds. Little macabre for my taste.
So that's what I saw at Barrow. Please go on.
Supposedly afterwards, the ghosts of the victims would haunt the forest with a bright red light on and around the date of the accident.
So what don't you believe about it?
Well, the legend stipulates that the fire brigade goes to investigate every time, but I haven't seen them once be called. The main road to the forest passes by the summer home. I have never seen a fire truck pass by.
What have you seen?
Military convoys. They always passed by when the lights appeared.
If you've seen this, then what makes it dubious?
That branch was an old part of the Kildane Industrial Branch. It was still active at the time and wouldn't have had munitions vans stored on it.
Right.
Furthermore, I never heard the story until after the last appearance of the lights. Almost 60 years later.
So does that make it a fake story?
Not entirely. There was a train crash down that branch, but munitions would not be on it. It's a single track.
If not that, then what could have happened?
Truthfully, I don't know. But I do know that the wreck happened well before the start of the crackdowns.
Crackdowns?
Crackdowns?
Yes, this forest has a history of unsavory groups, but it had limited notoriety until the late 1930s. As the story goes, a wealthy quarry owner bought an engine from a local railway. Soon after, a string of terrible accidents followed, culminating in a devastating mine collapse that killed many workmen, engines, and even the owner's daughter. Before the dust had settled, if you'll pardon the expression, many rumors started circulating about the daughter being involved with some dark practices. Naturally, the local government started an inquiry, but by that time, the owner had closed the railway and left the island. Moved to America, if memory serves. Muffle Mountain, I think.
Oh, I see the...
Anyways, most people thought that...
Oh, Muffle Mountain. Got it. Okay, call me whatever you want. I did enjoy the Magic Railroad, so you can rip into me if you want. I just grew up watching Thomas, and I was like 5 or so when I first saw that movie, so go ahead. I saw it. I enjoyed it. It was a little cringe in some areas, but I still enjoy it to this day, so go ahead, rip into me if you want.
That was the end of it. But in the mid-1950s, a visiting clergyman's family went missing. Because of the forest's past history, the local government automatically suspected foul play, and considering the Second World War had just ended, they saw it fit to crack down on unsupervised and uncivilized activity. Hence the nickname.
You think that had something to do with it?
Evil things tend to hide when a light is shined in a dark corner, but that
True.
doesn't mean they stop.
Up there. Who is that? Who is crawling up there? Douglas again? One of the Scottish twins? Who is that? I see you son of a bitch. I will not let these little details escape my eyes. I will spot everyone I could see in one sitting before rewatching it again at a later date.
The Duke has a sort of passing interest in the area's history. He frequently visits Fort
he's gone
State's
now.
library to research it. The Earl also has a fondness for strange happenings. I've heard them discuss it with the Duchess.
Are there any lines that still go into the forest?
The last standard gauge line closed down in the late 30s. The rails are still there. It would be hard to explore, though. Most of the forest was fenced off nearly a decade ago. The only exceptions would be a few quarries up in the hills. Why do you want to know?
Personal interest.
Well, just remember that curiosity killed the cat.
True.
Some things deserve
Killed a
to
couple
stay
of
buried
our
and
characters. Wait, hold on one second. What was that?
forgotten. Curiosity killed the cat. Some things...
There is a red light beyond that control box. Is that lady's headlight? Backlight, whatever it is, whatever you call it. Is that lady? Hard to make out a shape, but why would there be a red light beyond the single? Right there. Possibly lady. I'm gonna stick with it.
deserve to stay buried and forgotten.
Like those lights?
Possibly.
When was the last time you saw them?
Honestly, I wasn't there the last time the lights appeared. I was laid up at the works.
Oh,
Never.
wait, I'm wrong. It was another single. Alright, that threw me off. Alright, I'll admit my mistake there.
Engine was covering my duties for me.
Another engine? Were they an engine from the Northwestern?
If I remember correctly, it was Henry.
It was
The
Henry.
green one.
Yes, you might see the flying fishmonger pulling the flying kipper if you're lucky.
That tin kettle pulled the Duke and Duchess of Boxford.
The Duke and Duchess hold that tin kettle in high regard. He knew how to handle special passengers properly, unlike the other one.
Other one?
There is a reason the Duke and Duchess prefer steam engines.
Yeah. Like I said earlier, if you haven't seen that episode, check it out. You'll find out why. Well, they had a nice chat. Won't lie. I don't see anything off yet. And Whiff is still there. Wait a second. Okay, never mind. It was probably nothing.
Why am I stopped?
Oh, here comes Diesel 10. Now he's suspicious. I bet they'll have a conversation later. What is the name of the song I've heard so many times over the years and I don't know the name of it? It drives me nuts. Somebody please let me know in the comment section. Alright, let's have a look around. Nothing. Broke it down. Engines. Nothing I could see out of order. Except for a broken Gordon over there. Is that the hauled out husk that was scrapped in the Farquhar siren? And now it's just on the rails? Or is that just a regular scrapped steam engine and I'm just losing it? Let me know in the comments. Because I don't actually know myself there. Because there are several... I almost missed that. I almost missed you, my friend. I almost missed you. I have to write down next time I react to one of these which of the characters had disappeared, so I'm not gambling of which twin it is that was killed off. But I almost missed you. Sorry, the water is getting to me. I almost missed you, my friend. I'm not letting that one slide.
May I help you?
Yes. Who's the head Santa here?
That would be me.
Aren't you those steamy to scrap engines?
Did you bring us iron or not?
Just these old girders.
Just leave them in that siding. We'll get to them eventually.
Yeesh.
Alright.
Hey, I see you. My eyes immediately darted to the background. I see you. It's one of the twins. Like I said, I'll write down. I'll have like a little list on me to keep track of every single character that was killed off since the missing 411. I'm not missing it.
Too short. Too boxy. Too steamy.
Is that an issue? Right now. Oh, here comes 10 again. And he doesn't have his... Does he consistently take off his crane arm? I don't see anything. We're good in this scene. D261. Oh! Wait, that was the Diesel from the Henry's Forest episode. So he's dead. Right, because we never saw what happened to him again after that episode. I forgot the specific choice of dialogue that Daylight 3 used. I haven't rewatched that episode in a little bit. I was actually rewatching it a little bit earlier, but I had to stop because had to do something else. So I never finished rewatching it and re-listening to the dialogue. But we never saw D261 again after that. And he's asking what happened to that Diesel. So I think he's going to try and get a confession out of Diesel 10 as to what happened to him. Because he and D261 are the same class of Diesel. Too much water. I don't see anything. Nope, still don't see anything. He recognizes it.
Why have you stopped? We need to clear the line.
Driver, you see that piece of metal there?
Yes, what of it?
Could you get it for me?
You serious?
Yes, put it in my car.
All right.
He's gonna start asking questions. Either he's gonna ask Diesel, or he's gonna ask Henry, because Henry is the last one to see him that night. Well, alive. I'm assuming because he's most likely dead. Okay, nothing unusual. Still nothing unusual. Murdoch just hanging out. What are you thinking, my friend?
Well, hello, stranger.
One of his brothers. Yep.
Oh, hello, 199. To what do I owe the pleasure?
A line of petrol tankers from Barrow, freshly refined for the most modern machinery such as ourselves. You won't get the same grime and unreliability as coal-powered engines like them.
Last I saw, you were the one that broke down Spam Can.
So,
Oh, it is Fan Can,
would you
okay.
please tell that dirty object to not refer to me as Spam Can.
First of all, my name is Bear. Second of all, that's not my number anymore. Third of all, don't refer to Henry as a dirty object.
Fourth of all, you can ask me.
Number 3, would you please not refer to me as Spam Can?
Only if you treat me with respect and call me by my real name.
Treat you with respect. The only
Oh,
respect...
wait. I just saw you. It was a split second, but I saw you. I see an Oliver back there. Hanging out amongst the trucks, just listening in on the conversation. I had a feeling one of them was going to pop up in the scene. I just didn't know where. I caught you, though. I caught you, you son of a bitch.
With respect, the only respect you deserve is in a museum. On my railway, steam engines are kept in their place and only let out on the main line with special permission.
Good grief. Can you believe this, Murdoch?
I'm not involved in this.
He doesn't want anything to do with this
He
shit.
doesn't like arguments, Henry.
Probably scared he'd lose.
Yeah,
Don't
see?
know why.
Henry.
See, now if you look back at the same scene, he is gone. So I caught him just in time, in that split second when I was talking.
Scared he'd lose.
Don't know why I bother. Engines like you will never change.
Ooh!
Come along, Bear. Let's leave these hooligans.
Ugh. You're right, Henry. You don't sound good.
I'll be fine when I'm away from these diesels.
He literally said nothing this whole time. Well, stuck up. Or whatever his name was. He literally didn't say a word.
Traitor. Well, now that the rabble is gone, why don't we return to the sheds to discuss things? I have to return to the mainland in a few hours.
Sure. I would like to catch up with you, old friend.
Express to London will be leaving from Platform 5 in 2 minutes.
So how are things in London?
Quite exciting. 2 of the 125s were silver-plated recently.
Were they? Have you met them?
Oh, Edward's in
Not personally,
nearby.
but it's nice
He's
to
just
see
hanging
a few
out.
more of us on the rails. Though it's a shame we have to get the materials from here of all places. It's too primitive to be of any use to the network.
Not to mention dangerous.
Yes. I've been meaning to ask you why you opted to go on trial here out of all the railways and territories of Her Majesty's Commonwealth.
I have my reasons.
Don't tell me you're still after your little conspiracy theory.
Maybe so. What of it?
Honestly, I thought you'd be more mature than that.
I'm just as mature as anyone. Who are you to belittle me? My searches have led me here, and I'm not leaving until I find him.
Oh, give it a rest, 40125. They keep records. If he was real, they'd say, "Don't waste your fleeting hours of modernity on this dump. Come back to the mainland."
And just give up.
Yes, if he was real, the company records would say so.
I know he exists, and I won't stop until I find him. I know something happened here, and I won't stop until I find out what.
Fine.
I think Edward's
Suit
gonna
yourself.
ask him, and he's gonna tell him about the plate he found.
But don't come crying back to me.
I don't see anyone.
It's getting late. We had better get you into a shed before it gets cold.
I saw a shining in the yard. I'll go there.
Well, there's a few berths open at the roundhouse. Miles more comfortable than a shunter's shed.
No. Stick me in that shed. I want to be alone.
I thought he would talk with Edward.
He can't be fake. I know he isn't. I've gone down every inch of main line on this railway. He has to be here. But where?
Oh, here we go. He's gonna probably follow him, bringing in more equipment. Or is it the same train now? It's a different train.
That shining, of course. I could look there while he's gone.
Wait, you just turn yourself back on? Okay, wait, I just had a thought. So, if I remember correctly, the dream that Henry had, what if it wasn't a dream? What if it was actually something that happened and the lights purposely knocked him out and put him back in the shed to make it seem like it play out as a dream for him? Thoughts? And D261 actually died in that sighting. Wonder if I'm right. Let's find out. This is the sighting. Here we go. Okay, then. Alright, the buildup is gone. What just happened? Is he dead? No, he's alive.
Whoa, easy now, Henry.
Oh, there we go.
Show!
Yeesh. So he is probably going to talk to Henry about the plate.
We were on our way to Tidmouth when Henry's tender coupling snapped. Could you take us there?
Sure.
Great. I'm never gonna hear the end of this. If you say one thing about being superior, you will regret it. Hello?
Okay, there was no whistle sound. Okay, I don't see anything.
Strange.
Oh,
What?
wait.
Nothing.
Who was number 9, Donald or Douglas? Oh my god, his tender is still here. I forgot it was disconnected. It wasn't taken with him when he died, basically.
How long will the repairs take?
By the looks of it, a few
Surprised it's
hours.
stored there.
Blast. I was supposed to take the kipper to Brendan.
Well, it looks like he's got you covered.
What? I had better not have to apologize to him.
But he's also deep in thought. I guess he must have seen something. Or he didn't find anything. I'm really liking Daylight 3's music choice. Okay, I don't see anything. There he is again. Bill and Ben. Boko's chewing him out. Oh, who is that? Where did... Oh, Mr. Percival. I think he's impressed. I don't see anything down there. Yeah, that I was looking in the wrong spot.
Well done, D40125. I was skeptical of if you were the right fit for the railway, but you have certainly proven your worth. Not only have you improved your work ethic, but also your attitude towards your peers. I am proud to say you have earned a place on the railway.
Thank you, sir.
You don't sound very enthusiastic. Is something the matter?
It's just been a long day. Thank you for how kind you've been to me, sir. It means a lot.
Where are you going?
Just into the yards. I would like to be alone.
Now he's concerned. Who's on the other side of the train? Edward? No, Boko. Boko's gonna talk to him. Oh, nope, oh, it's all three of them. Wait. Oh no, that's just Douglas's I think that's Douglas's shadow.
He seemed completely indifferent.
That sounds about right. He never said anything when he helped me today.
It does seem like a rapid turnaround. I wonder.
There's something on your mind, Edward.
I overheard him talking with another diesel last night. From the sound of it, he came here in search of a silver-plated engine. Like us. Maybe. They didn't discuss much before he went to find a shed to stay in.
Then how was he on the main line this morning?
Main line?
Yes, he was in the exact spot I broke down.
But that's on the other side of the island.
Maybe he is who they were talking about.
They?
Overheard a crewman talk about a yard master this morning. Said his engine wasn't in the yard. I was afraid another engine had disappeared, but I didn't know who.
Does that mean he's been working all day without a crew?
Possibly.
Well, he's being bloody careful, crew or no crew. Something must have happened last night. But what?
I say, it's nice to see you chaps again. How has the railway been treating you?
Could have been better.
Oh yes, I heard about your little delay this morning. Terribly dreadful.
Would have been worse if old Stuck-Up wasn't there to help.
Which one is he? So many of these new diesels on the lines these days.
D40125.
He's old Stuck-Up. How'd he earn that moniker?
He was quite rude and unpleasant towards us.
That doesn't sound like the engine I met. He was more of an inquisitive type.
Well, he has been known to ask questions. Why would he be asking about it then?
He asked me about those red lights from a decade back.
Red lights? You mean from Edward's story?
The very same.
Such a terrible shame. So many poor souls doomed to wander.
Oh, come on.
You know what I was wondering for the longest time? If that episode was canon to the rest of this. But now looking back at it on several occasions with the 3 lorries and the military vehicles, it makes sense that it would be canon. But it was never really established or mentioned again. So now we have the confirmation that it is.
Wood, you must know that that story isn't at all accurate.
What do you mean? I remember hearing about the wreck. I even saw them haul away that poor engine's tender.
That may be true, but when was the first time you heard that story?
The 60s, I think.
Don't you think it's strange that you never heard that story for nearly 50 years? A crash like that would be remembered in infamy.
Yeah.
I suppose you have a point.
Why would he ask about it then?
Daisy said that he approached her at Elsbridge and started asking her about Toby and Percy.
Maybe he's trying to figure out what is causing the missing engines cases. Possibly.
Possibly.
What do you think, Edward?
Maybe he's looking for something. What? Well, let's review the facts. He has been lurking around the yards and asking uncomfortable questions.
Unpleasantly, I might add.
Yes, noted. Then he goes to Vickerstown where he discusses looking for an engine. Then, the next day, he's on the other side of the island and spots a completely different attitude. Maybe he found what he was looking for. It had to be something for his behavior change.
It had to be something near the summer house.
What makes you say that?
I saw him passing by on the main line last night, heading towards Kildane.
Why do you think he was there?
Don't know, but it couldn't have been official railway business. 'Twas the witching hour. No crews out at that time of night anymore, especially on that part of the island.
Maybe an urgent midnight delivery to the Duke and Duchess. The rural roads aren't very reliable.
No, couldn't have been. The Duke and Duchess don't trust diesels. It's a contributing factor to my longevity.
Hold on a moment.
Henry's realizing.
What is it, Henry?
They don't trust diesels, and those lights stopped when...
What's wrong, Henry?
Do you remember that diesel, Edward?
That diesel?
From Halloween back in 73. You know him.
Yes, I do.
Did you ever see him leave the island?
No.
I was at Crovan's Gate, so I would not have seen the diesel if he had passed through.
So it wasn't a dream.
What's wrong, Henry?
It was real.
I think I
My
need to
theory
talk
was
to
right.
Diesel alone.
Alright, so my theory was right. It wasn't a dream. It was real.
What do you want?
I came to talk to you about your behavior.
But I wasn't rude to any of you today.
That's why I'm here.
So what? You all seem to like the change.
Maybe. But that doesn't mean we aren't concerned.
I suppose that's fair.
Oh, Diesel
You
10's
saw
in the
something
background.
In the woods, didn't you?
Yes. I've been looking for him for years. He came here and never returned. I asked the controllers, but they all acted like he never existed.
You thought we were responsible, didn't you?
I did, but no one believed me, so I came here to prove it. But now, I don't know what to think.
I'm not sure what to think either.
Do you know him?
I met him, for better or for worse.
Do you know what happened to him?
To be honest, I thought it was a bad dream. Whatever it wasn't of this world.
So now they both realize it wasn't. He is really gone.
125.
Is that an engine in the background, or is that just a truck? Because D10 is right next to it. And if it was a deceived, I think D10 would be killing it right now.
You may have had a rough start with everyone, but I'm sure they would warm up to you. Whatever you do after this is your choice. Stay or leave, I can't stop you. But just know that you're always welcome on this railway.
I think he's gonna stay. If he doesn't, I'd be surprised.
There you are. I've been looking for you for ages. Come along, we best get you to your sheds.
Driver,
Yes?
could you take that piece of metal out of my cab?
And do what?
Throw it into the ocean. I want to be rid of it.
Alright.
Now he knows the truth of what happened. I think D10 might have noticed. So now we have a total of 8 victims. Also, nice digital circus addition with the credits. Okay, so not too much to talk about here, as it is a bunch of stuff I've already spoken of throughout this entire video, so I'm not going to say too much here, other than the fact that there was very little, action, because the last couple have been a little bit action-orientated, but this was probably the most interesting and continued lore one we've seen in a while. Just like with James and the new engine, they confirmed that everything that had been happening and they had some lore behind it, and now we have confirmation that D261 never left the island, and then it was truly the events that happened in real time. So that makes a total of 8 engine victims to engine and one thing of rolling stock. Toad confirmed to be dead. Well, Toad is not confirmed to be dead. We don't know what actually happened. We know he was taken, but we don't know if he's actually dead. We have not seen him in quite some time since the beginning of the Farquhar Siren. At least I don't recall off the top of my head. I could be very wrong though. But that aside, everything else was really good. We got some closure to the first story, and now we know the first story is truly canon because it hasn't been spoken of at all throughout all of these other episodes. So other than that, I don't know what else truly to say because most of my thoughts were spoken of throughout this entire episode. So yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed my reactions to this. I enjoyed looking for these little Easter eggs of the engines just popping in and out up in between scenes. The LI3, I wouldn't be surprised if you are doing this to make sure I'm paying attention to what's going on in the background, because I don't think in any of the other previous episodes none of the characters were popping up in the background, but I'll have to double check by rewatching them again, at least the last few that I from DBS I'm saying what the one with Diesel, basically the last few before that. I have to take a look and watch the backgrounds again when I rewatch them. So I'll make sure I'm right or not, but I'll have to double check. So other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed today's reaction video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next reaction video. Bye.